What's going on, guys? Alright, so we're looking at some of these cheap flashlights. I gotta do something with the mouse on this computer. It's driving me nuts. It barely reaches where I need it to go. And it's a wired mouse. I don't know what I did with the other one. That's the problem. I have a USB one. Alright, I got it. I found it. Alright, so what we've seen on here is a couple of these really halfway decent flashlights for like $6-7. I'm like, wow. Okay, so I've got about 3 different ones that are going to be coming soon. This one here would have been really nice if it had a clip on it. So these are literally $15 with 20% off. They're like $6 or $7 a piece. And they have 18650 in them, and a USB-C, and they charge at the back, and they're zoomable. And my main thing, like with the Convoy flashlights and all that stuff, is that first of all, almost none of them have a USB port on them, and I don't think any of them have a zoom focus. And I'm not interested in a flashlight that isn't having that capability. So these ones here are the same company of this other one that I bought. This one is the WTB Pro, but anyway, this thing is pretty cool. It's got dual buttons, so you don't have to use this other stupid crap. I really wish that companies would stop putting strobes on flashlights and SOS, you know, in Morse code, because, like, look, I mean, seriously, what is this going to do? You're gonna have better luck poking somebody in the eye with this flashlight than you are fending them off with a strobe. So I think it's kind of a useless function. Anyway, this one looks to have a better LED in it than this one. This one has like some weird like 4-segment thing. So I had thought about trying this one out. The only issue with like this one is it has a single button, and what the problem with those usually means that you go high, medium, low, strobe, and SOS, and you have to push through that just to turn the stupid thing off. So I just want it on and off, and then, like, you know, an option to do other things maybe, but not necessarily. It's not important. Anyway, that one is pretty common to see on here. This one here is extremely similar to this one. I really think it's probably made by the same company, and they've just dressed it up a little differently, because if you look at the button here, the button is shaped the same. So probably going to behave the same as the other one. There's just a little bit of difference in the manufacturing of it. The one that I have, I think if it works okay. It's pretty good for like how cheap it is. These are basically $11 with Prime. The other version, the WTD Pro, is going to be like less, like $9, or at least it was. So there's a lot of these other type of flashlights here that you'll run into, and these use a bigger battery. And I think that's kind of important, because the 18650, I mean, it's a pretty small battery. I mean, like, you look at it, it's pretty small. So the 26650 is quite a bit bigger. So these particular flashlights seem to be capable of running a 26650 or 3 AAAs, and then they give you like a tube like this, which will also allow you to run an 18650. So I think that this is like the real deal, like to get a flashlight like this. Now companies like Convoy and Workhorse and Sofrin and, you know, all these other companies, they're not offering anything like this. Now we don't know what LEDs are really in these, or if they're lying, and we don't know what temperature it is, etc., etc. But like, for example, this one here is $29. There's a 20% coupon and possibly more. But I found one real similar to that for like $7. In fact, I found 2 or 3 of them. So these are still smaller than a Streamlight Stinger. In my opinion, I think the Streamlight Stinger is like the perfect size. I'm not gonna necessarily carry one around in my pocket, but I think like we've got a size like this. It's really kind of small. There's only so much light that can come out of a 1-inch opening, and so I think that's another thing to keep in mind. You know, with flashlights. What I've got like about 3 or 4 now so far, and the best one is still the Naboo from Walmart. And also what it does is it doesn't focus as much as this one does. And this one also has a domed LED, and we don't know what one it is, but that one was also pretty damn cheap too. It was on sale for like $9. So you'll run into these kind here, and these are actually pretty neat because they have a digital display, and some of them will have 2 USBs on them. So like this one shows the 2. Not all of them will have that. Maybe not all of them are USB-C, but they're zoomable, and they're usually about 6 inches, somewhere around there. I think if I remember correctly, I measured the Streamlight Stinger HL, and it was about 8.5 inches. So, and we're not even talking like, you know, something the size of a mag light, you know. So this is another version of one. Most of these, if you long press, they will turn off, from what I understand by reading. And so you can turn it on, and it'll go to the brightest mode, and then you can go ahead and long press it and turn it off. I've got one here that is about the size of a Convoy, and it's just a cheap 18650 embedded type of one where you're not really supposed to change it. You got to go through all the settings on it to turn it off every time. So this is that one that I bought that I showed you here. This is this one. Now this one's not too bad. If you long press it, it doesn't do anything. But you push it high, low, medium, and then off. So this one is $15 with 40% off coupon, and it's got a nice clip on it. It's made pretty nice. A little bit of the paint has come off a little bit in certain places. I carried it around in my pocket for a little bit. But it's pretty handy actually, and it zooms in pretty close, so maybe has a slight greenish tint to the LED. I would put it somewhere around 500, 600 lumen maybe. I'm not sure. But, you know, for about $8, $9, it was actually pretty nice. So, it's small enough that you can just grab it and go, put it in your pocket, and the USB is right here. This one has the old style USB, which is kind of a bummer. That other company that looks like them has a newer version. There are also some dual switch flashlights on here too that are floating around. And those are kind of an interesting deal because you can turn them on and off with the tail, and then you go through the settings with the other part. So the Rechu brand, yeah. Here's the Naboo, Da Vinci. These are, I don't know, some people say they don't like them, but I've got the one over here from Walmart, and I like it. It's very bright, and the way they've got it set up is it seals up the USB port on the tail. So you take it and you twist it open, and then you've got a C and a A for bank. And then no clicky, just turn it. It doesn't zoom out real far, so you don't end up seeing the pattern of the LED. It's really bright and a nice color. So you'll see these kind here, they put like this LED here. I don't like that. I think they call it a cob light or something. So there's a lot of different stuff on here, but mainly what I've seen is like if you want something that zooms, most of the major companies don't offer. Like you're going to need to buy off of Amazon if you want one that will do that. And I don't know why they don't. I'm not in the flashlight community. I'm not on the forums, and I'm not, like doing all that. But these guys will have like a particular flashlight that will have like a longer piece like that for more throw, etc., etc. But it's just like, hey, can't we just carry just one that will do everything? I mean, and this is, in my opinion, this is one that will do everything. I like these ones. I've seen these ones. They're like some weird brand Alice Girl store, but I like the end of them. They look really nice. Actually, they look extremely similar to that. You've got a little gauge on there, on and off. They just look decently made. I don't know what battery it uses. But my main thing is like, it needs to be USB rechargeable and it needs to be zoomable. And if it doesn't have that, then like, it's kind of a novelty. If I can't charge it in the vehicle, they have these weird ones here where they have like cutouts in the flashlight itself. But if I can't charge it, I mean, like, I have to go home and use a special charger. That's just stupid. Or have to carry extra batteries. No, I don't want to do that. And it's not like there aren't flashlights out there. So yeah, if you want a flashlight from like, some of these other companies, you're probably not going to be able to get the zoom. I don't think Workhorse makes a zoomable flashlight, but they might. Sofrin might, I don't know. And so those flashlights, what are good about those ones is that if you have the Android or whatever you call it, you can program the flashlight to do what you want it to do, and get rid of, I'm pretty sure you can get rid of the strobe and all that. So but you notice that I typed USB rechargeable flashlight with zoom, and we don't see any of those particular brands on here. They just, I don't know, they don't want to make a zoomable flashlight. Maybe they're just not that reliable or durable or something. But it's not what I don't want. I did order a Workhorse and I guarantee you, if I don't like it, it's going right back. I don't want a flashlight that's like only good for one thing, you know. And we need one for this. I need one that's throwy. I need one that's floody. I need one that's this. I need one that's that. You know, it's like, I mean, I don't mind having a couple of different ones, but I don't want to have like 100 of them. I don't even see any of the ones that I ordered. And maybe if I go on here and type in today's deals or something. It looks like I already did. Well, maybe not. Okay, so we're looking at $8 to $30, which is actually pretty good. So I definitely ordered one that looked like this one. Now, one of the complaints about like a couple of them is that the adapter for the AAA batteries wants to booger up the batteries because the tube is just a little bit too small. Well, I don't know. I think if you buy a flashlight like this, do you really want to run it on AAAs? I don't. Okay, here's one right here, $11. This one here is... You got to make sure it comes with a battery too, and sometimes they're not specific. They won't really tell you. You'll have to read the reviews. It says this flashlight includes one LED flashlight rechargeable, one rechargeable battery, one battery sleeve, one AAA battery holder, one USB cable, and one lanyard. And so, if we go look here, this thing has 4.7. That's pretty good, especially for an $11 flashlight. You gonna tell me that is the only review? How many reviews are there? So there isn't a single review that's written other than this one. That's crazy. Anyway, back out of this. So it's claiming to have a Cree XHP50 LED. It could be counterfeit, for what I understand. It could be perfectly fine. I don't know. How counterfeit can it be if they're all made in China anyway, right? Or maybe it's backdoor deals, not officially licensed by the company in the USA. Anyway, I think this might have been one of the ones that I ordered based off the picture. We can look here and we see they're showing the old USB. I don't really care about that. That's not a big deal. Then you got ones like this, they're $7. These ones here, they're not going to have a light in them. Or, I mean, a light. They're not going to have a battery in them. And I think they're designed to run on, like, AA's. And they're kind of neat. You get two of them. And they look pretty small. And they're zoomable. And they have 3 modes. Maybe they don't have this stupid strobe, right? Wouldn't that be great? But they probably do. 3 modes. Some of the stuff is just ridiculous. 3 light modes: high, low, and strobe. Yes, we want the strobe. God, I mean, seriously, why do we need the strobe? Are those things really that small? I don't know if this is like a random video that popped up for this, because they don't look the same. Anyway. Do they look the same? No, those aren't the same ones. So I guess that's all of the deals for those, but if we type in something without the word zoom, we will end up with completely different results. It will get the Rechew and the other WTD Pro, whatever. I think this one would be cool to try out. I just don't know why they couldn't have put a clip on it. And so this one, where's the other version? Okay, so it's $15 with a 20% coupon, which is going to be like what? That's going to be a couple dollars, $2, $3, I don't know. But just a single one is $8.49, and somewhere they do give the dimensions of it. I think it's like 4.5 inches, something like that. It's not going to do 2,000 lumen. I mean, you got to realize that maybe that LED is capable of that, but that flashlight's not. For the most part, I think they've got a lot of this down to a science. So you pretty much could just close your eyes and pick something on here, and you'll probably be okay. Here's a dark beam brand. Looks very similar, but only single button. I like these style of ones though, but I'm not going to order a whole bunch of them. And then this one, the Anker, is supposed to be pretty popular. It looks very similar to this. Even the it's not showing up on the camera. Yeah. The body of the flashlight. So they have a couple flashlights that look really similar to this one. And I don't know if they give you an option, but their flashlight, you undo the end here, and it's sealed in there. That's on some of them, and that's where you charge it. This one's different. But they seem to be, this one here, yeah, this one here is really similar to what I have over here. You see the stepping on the... Where'd it go? So this one, it was $9, but it's not no more. So, even at $15, it's cheaper than this. So I don't know if it'll show you how it charges, but I'm pretty sure there's a review. Let's see if we can find it here. See that? That's pretty cool. So this thing has a tail cap that's completely sealed. You undo it and you charge the flashlight. I like it. Unlike, this one here is, if it's open, it's going to be exposed. I mean, there is an O-ring. I don't know how well sealed it is. It doesn't fit real tight. To me, I think it would probably leak. And then these ones, if it's sealed, it's sealed, but if it's not, it's not, I don't know. Oops. But then you have like these kind. It's sealed. I don't know if it's sealed on the back end very well, but it's sealed. So I think this is a pretty cool, neat idea. It's a nice diagram of the flashlight. Look at that. It looks like maybe is there a spring on both ends? So this company's been around for a while, making lots of cell phone batteries since the beginning of Android days. Let me get the flash off. So, not too many of these have the double button on them. Maybe this one does. I don't think so, though. So, basically, if you don't want to deal with that crap, then you're going to have to buy, like, you know, something else. You'll have to buy a Convoy. You'll have to buy, you know, a Workhorse or something. But when you can get one of these for $7 or something, you know, it's kind of no big deal. They just deal with it. Here's the Woobin. That I guess people like this one. So, from what I understand, is you just soft or half press the button after it's on, and it will go through the levels. I don't know if it's. I don't think it's zoomable. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Anyway, because people were asking, well, okay, where can I get a flashlight that has USB charging and etc. etc. And so it's got a clip and all that, and it's actually pretty decent. And I've read some reviews on it, and they're pretty good. Here's that one I showed you guys that I was just holding up there. So I definitely think like everybody should have one of these kind of flashlights in their go box, go bag, you know, whatever. Keep them around the house. You never know when you're going to need it, you know. And it's just kind of fun to play around with if you go outdoors a lot. Right now I'm hiding inside because it's like 101 degrees here. It's got to be pretty close to like 120 down in Phoenix. Here's an O-light keychain light. These are kind of interesting. Another one over here. There's just so much stuff on here. I mean, like, we could sit here for days and days and days and days and look at flashlights. It's almost impossible for me to find what I ordered. Because it doesn't show up on here like it does. This one here is some weird stuff too. You see this? It USB-C. It's like really, really small. So there are different flashlights that this company sells. Let me see what this one is. Slightly larger. A little bigger. A whole bunch of them. Anyway, they're really kind of odd looking things. I'm trying to see if I can find one of the ones that I ordered. It kind of looks like this, where it has that metal around the button, and it's got a digital display. But the last three that I ordered all are 650 batteries, and I figured let's get some of those, because if one of them's got a problem, at least I'll have more than one battery. And I've never tried one, so it'll give me a better idea. Well, look at that thing. If that type of battery format is actually better or just larger. Let me see if I'm gonna come back after I've found the flashlights. So here is one of them right here. This was $7. It's 53% off. So I'm not sure why they want to show me. So since I can't get the app to behave, what I'll do is I'll just screenshot the ones that I was looking at that I bought, and you guys can take a look at that anywhere. I'll catch you guys later.